Hello everyone, Squared Circle Wrestling is back with another episode which includes WWE legend shoots at WWE for giving Roman Reigns too many titles, Edge's WWE future considered very uncertain, Tony Khan comments on Sting's retirement plans, WWE Hall of Famer have issues with Jon Moxley's AEW character, Jim Cornette criticizes Kevin Owens' physical appearance, Legend slams WWE for putting AJ Styles in the World Heavyweight Championship match, and much more. You can check the complete list with time chapters in the description box below. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel for all the latest news. Our top story for today looks at WWE legend shoots at WWE for giving Roman Reigns too many titles. The undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns can achieve an unbelievable feat at WWE Night of Champions event by holding 4 championships simultaneously if he and Solo wins their undisputed tag team championship match against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle during an episode of The Kurt Angle Show took shots at WWE for giving Roman too many championships. He said, "I haven't had very much luck going against Roman Reigns. But you know what? I'm going to go with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as the winners. They're going to go over strictly because Roman Reigns already is holding 2 world titles. Now I could be wrong. They might end up putting all the freaking titles on Roman Reigns, maybe even the new World Heavyweight Championship. You got to build your company. You can't rely on just one guy, and I'm not saying they're doing that with Roman, but they're on their way to doing that." Next up, Edge's WWE future considered very uncertain. The rated R superstar Edge has hinted that his days as a wrestler are numbered over the past year, with the Hall of Famer revealing recently that he believes he only has 1 more year of wrestling left in him. Regarding Edge's future, WrestleVotes revealed to Give Me Sport that his WWE future is considered touch and go. This one is touch and go. The last I heard on Edge was that the ball is totally in his court. It's a name the place in person type of deal. If he says, "SmackDown in Toronto is my last match and I want it to be against John Cena," they're gonna make all that happen. I'm not saying that's gonna happen. He has the respect of the entire locker room, Triple H included and Vince included, so they're kind of gonna let this guy do what he wants. It's really up to him. I don't think that Triple H, Vince or anybody knows. I don't even think he knows. It's just we'll see how the body feels and who knows. It's coming time, so, maybe it is this year's SummerSlam. Maybe it is SmackDown in Toronto in August. Maybe it's sooner, but it's up to him is the best way that I can put it. Next up, Tony Khan comments on Sting's retirement plans. During the AEW Double or Nothing media call on Thursday, AEW President Tony Khan was asked about Sting's retirement status and recent absence from AEW television. He said, "I am going to try and keep Sting wrestling and active as long as he wants to do it. He hasn't really given me a set time. He's mentioned it at times that he's not going to wrestle forever. Truth be told, I would like Sting to compete as long as he wants. We love having him here and I would love for Sting to stay as long as he could. Whenever he does decide that it's time for his last match, we would definitely want to make it a big event, and I think it's one of, frankly, the biggest moments out there in pro wrestling right now is Sting's retirement match." Next up, WWE Hall of Famer have issues with Jon Moxley's AEW character. WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray on his Busted Open radio show pointed out issues with Jon Moxley's character's presentation in AEW. He said, "Last night on Dynamite, Jon Moxley cut a very strong promo in the middle of the show, where I did not find myself wanting to see the BCC lose or the babyfaces win. It was a strong promo, almost like a babyface-ish promo. And then, at the end of the show, you get Jon Moxley cutting another strong promo about what we should expect and what we're going to be getting from this Anarchy match." Next up, Jim Cornette criticizes Kevin Owens' physical appearance. Wrestling legend Jim Cornette, speaking on the Jim Cornette Experience show, criticized Kevin Owens' overall presentation as well as discrediting his long-running prizefighter gimmick. He said, "How has Kevin Steen Owens been able to, the state of him, the look of him, the person of him, been able to convince people that he's a prizefighter and a badass? I'm not saying he can't work. I'm not saying he can't talk. I never have. He doesn't look like effing Haku, and he's probably been in, I would think, single-digit number of real fights in his life." Next up, Legend slams WWE for putting AJ Styles in the World Heavyweight Championship match. Former WCW President Vince Russo recently expressed his displeasure at how WWE booked AJ Styles in a match at Night of Champions that he's expected to lose. Vince Russo took an issue with AJ Styles competing in the match, arguing that he had just returned and the company put him in a bout he was most likely to lose. He said, "They are in love with Seth. They are putting the belt on Seth, which doesn't really make any sense to me because I'll be honest with you. You just bring AJ back, and you beat him in a match like this. It couldn't have been someone else." Next up, major update on Big E's current WWE status. Former WWE World Champion Sheamus was guest on this week's WWE's The Bump. The Celtic Warrior revealed that he's reached out Big E a couple of times to have him on his workout channel, but he's currently very busy working with promotion on their NIL program. "I'd love to have Big E on the channel. I've reached out to him a couple of times, but he's actually pretty busy with the NIL thing, the next in line thing, so he does that even though he's not active on the roster. He's still doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes for the company. I would love to. I think that Big E's chest day will probably be the most impressive, because as far as I know, Big E has the biggest chest probably in the history of the male superstars. Next up, AJ Styles says there were no plans for him after his WWE debut at the Royal Rumble 2016. AJ Styles made his grand debut at WWE Royal Rumble 2016, exploding the arena. Styles spoke about this time in his life during a recent appearance on the My Love Letter to Wrestling program. He begins by recalling how WWE had no immediate plans for him after his Royal Rumble debut, due to Vince McMahon not knowing who he was. I'm not sure how I snuck in there. I think maybe the success of the Bullet Club helped for sure, with maybe some of the WWE writers if they asked him, "What do you think about AJ Styles?" I don't know how it worked out, but I can tell you this, Vince McMahon had no idea who I was. There's no way, because he had no plans for me after the Royal Rumble. I wasn't supposed to be at Raw the next day. He revealed that having conversation with Vince led him to earning Vince's trust. Yeah, so he just thought it was a fluke that I got the pop that I did in Orlando. And I didn't need to be on TV. But I was. And I had a very basic match because I thought that Vince wanted to see a babyface be a babyface. He brung me back and he sat me down, and I'm so grateful that he did. He says, "Listen, I got 1,000 guys that can do what you do," and I said, He goes, "I need a pit bull," and I go, oh, I know that guy, and that's exactly the guy I was in New Japan and everywhere else. So it was easy for me to come out and be that guy that he wanted to see, and that's when I think I gained his trust. Like, okay, this guy sees my vision and is gonna go out there and show it, and so, yeah, that's the way that worked. Next up, Zelina Vega revealed the real fight she got in with Mercedes Money. Zelina Vega speaking on Wrestling with Freddie, on things getting a little too real with then Sasha Banks in the ring after Banks hit her a little too hard during a match. There was a point back when Sasha had just come out to save Bianca from Carmella and she had hit me with the meteor, and dude, I felt like my orbital bone broke. I was like, oh my god. Of course, she was super apologetic and whatever, but then I was like, girl, you got a receipt coming. I was so mad. She's like, okay, cool, whatever. Royal Rumble happens, and I knew I was gonna eliminate her, and I was like, this is my moment. I think I kicked the soul out of her. I kicked her so hard. She flew back and she landed on the floor. I see her just shaking her head, and I knew she knew that was what I was waiting for. Of course, we were fine afterwards and it was funny, but I remember going, she was waiting for that one. Yep, that's the one. Zelina Vega then took to social media afterward to quell some of the outrage shown by Sasha's fans as a result of her comments, and told them to put the pitchforks away. Lol guys, it was all in good fun. Don't take everything so seriously. If you actually hear the interview, you see that I was laughing remembering those times because her and I knew it was just jokes and a part of it all. Pitchforks away and breathe. Next up, Taya Valkyrie revealed she never really thought about going back to WWE. Current AEW star Taya Valkyrie had a very short run in WWE in 2021 under the name Frankie Mone. She was unfortunately released less than a year into her run due to budget cuts. But when it came to a possible return to WWE under the Triple H regime, Valkyrie says she never really thought about going back. I didn't really think about it too much. Obviously, I have some friends that have gone back. Chelsea Green is an example, and she's thriving, she's killing it, so proud of her. But I didn't really think about it too much. I just knew that if it was meant to be, it was meant to be. But also, I was kind of indifferent. I didn't know if I wanted to subject myself to being in a space like that again. And I mean, it worked out. Next up, Steve Austin speaks on Roman Reigns holding WWE title for 1,000 plus days. WWE Hall of Famer Stone Cold Steve Austin, speaking on SI Media with Jimmy Trina, says WWE is making the right call by keeping the title on Roman Reigns. He said, "Roman's so hot right now and he's doing great. I thought it was the right finish at WrestleMania 39 and I loved it. It only made an opportunity for you to care more about Cody Rhodes. I think there's something so special with Roman. I don't think they intended on it being a 1,000-day reign or whatever it is right now, but the young man has just put the pieces together so good." And that is all for today's news. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel Squared Circle Wrestling for all the latest updates.